Yo, what is going on guys, Max here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going through how to get more points in arena mode in Fortnite. I've done a video like this before, maybe a couple of months ago, sometime in April. However, there has been so many changes to the game in those past few months that I felt like this video needs to be updated for the Fortnite players that haven't really adapted as well to the new meta and are struggling with arena mode right now. There will be 4 main things I will be covering in this video. Number 1, what loadout you should run in the current meta. 2, where you want to be and should be landing in arena games. Next, we're going to be covering the question, should you play passive or aggressive, and should you go for kills or placement. And finally, how much time you need to spend practicing arena if you want to get into the competitive scene. Also, if you decide to stick around till the very end of the video, I'll give you guys the 3 best tips that I think will really help your game in arena mode, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Can I just quickly ask you guys to drop a like on the video so that other people who are also struggling or just want to get better at arena mode have a higher chance of seeing this video. Also, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell to never miss another upload. I upload a lot of useful tutorials that I think will help you guys, not only in arena mode but also in public matches and whatnot. And yeah, if you do that, it would be really appreciated. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the ideal loadout you should be running in arena mode nowadays. In terms of assault rifles, there's 3 tiers: the alright, the good, and the best. The worst tiers in the game right now are probably the AKs and maybe the green and the blue infantry rifles. I know that some of you might not agree with me on this straight away, but let me explain myself. Now, the AK has a much slower fire rate than the normal AR, and you can't really spray it like you do with the other ARs like the TAC assault rifle and the SCAR, and this means it's going to be much harder to get kills as you have to be extremely accurate with it and land nearly all of your shots. The infantry rifle is pretty similar to the AK in that sense, but in my opinion it's even worse. I mean, the gun does quite a bit of damage if you land your shots, but it only has 8 ammo in a mag, which is pretty bad. Another major downside with both of these ERs is the fact that you can't spam your opponent's builds nearly as well as if you had something like a regular AR or a SCAR. That might not seem like the deal breaker to you guys, but it really is. I don't think you realize the amount of times you need an AR just to pressure people, not even go for kills. Like, think about it, maybe 10 to 20% of your arena kills will come from ARs compared to the 50 or 60% you will get with your shotguns and SMGs. The reasons I point that out is because the people you're fighting in arena aren't the same as the players in public matches. They are very likely to know how to play the game really well and build as soon as you shoot them. Anyways, more to the point, I believe you should carry a normal AR or a SCAR if you're lucky enough to get one. Your next alternative is going to be the tactical AR, as it's not that bad for endgame. And finally, the AKs and infantries come last, and they are the ARs you should try to avoid using. Next, you need to decide what shotgun to take. The 2 shotguns that dominate in Fortnite at the moment are the pump and the combat. However, with the new tactical shotgun coming into the game a few days ago, it gives you an extra option, and the shotgun is actually pretty good. But you won't find it as much as the combat and the pump just because of its rarity. I personally recommend running the combat over anything else in arena just because of its high fire rate and outstanding range compared to the other shotguns. And if you're lucky enough to come across the new tac shotgun, however, don't be afraid to try it, as a lot of people think it's really good. In the 3rd slot, you usually want to have a suppressed SMG or a drum gun. However, if you're running 2 slots for meds, you should carry something like a heavy sniper or a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher if you're lucky enough to find these. In the 4th slot, you always need to carry meds such as minis, big shields, slurp or chug splash. And in the final slot, you want to either run another set of meds or a power weapon like a heavy sniper or a rocket launcher. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but if it was, leave me a comment and I will make sure to reply. To sum up though, you will usually have an AR, a combat shotgun, an SMG and 2 sets of shields or 1 set of heals and a power weapon. Moving on to the next part of the video, we are going to be talking about where you should land and how you can find the right spot for you. So as you might know, arena games are really different to the normal public matches you play in, not only because the average skill level of a player is much higher in arena than a normal game, but also because players land in locations they wouldn't usually land in. That is to get better loot and be safe for the beginning of the game basically. And the landing spot you choose really depends on the game mode you're playing. Say for example, if I was playing solos, I could go to this place. If I was playing duos or trios, I could go to a larger place such as Lazy. And yeah, you get the point. You have to consider whether the amount of loot the place provides would be enough for you and your teammates. And if the answer is yes, then go for it. With that being said though, there are some spots you should try and avoid in arena mode. I would say Tilted, Pleasant and Salty are definitely some of the places you should try and avoid if you're not comfortable with the early game in arena. So make sure you choose a balanced place in terms of loot and the amount of players that are likely to go there. Now on to the next point. Should you play passive or aggressive during arena games if you want to get more points? Well, this really depends. There will be situations when you want to play quite defensively, however there will also be situations where you need to play aggressively. Let me give you guys a few examples of how you should treat arena games. So say you landed in a town like Lazy and you see a person land close to you on the ship. If you get a shotgun or something like an SMG and you know the other player is still nearby trying to find a gun, try to take them out as quickly as you can so that you can get the rest of the ship to yourself and have a chance to get amazing guns and loot. You should also play aggressive whenever you know somebody is weak. You should try to pressure them with your AR by hip firing at their walls and pushing up to them to cut distance and prevent the other player from popping any shields or heals. And once you're close to your opponent, you should try get shotgun shots in, and if the person you're fighting is turtling, try to take their wall and make an edit play. Now let me give you guys an insight into possible situations when you need to play defensive. Alright, so in the first example, you're weak and have no meds, but the person you're fighting is decently far from you. In this case, you should try to disengage and make your opponent lose you. A good thing about this season is that there's a sort of transportation nearly everywhere, and you should definitely use ballers and slipstreams to your advantage. Another situation you would need to play passively in is when you have really good loot and lots of materials. There's no point of trying to get into 50-50 fights with good loot in the middle of a game, as there's a risk you'll end up throwing the game and dying when you could have gone on to win. Generally, the decision making with whether to play defensive or aggro will come with lots of game time and experience, so don't worry if you're not getting things right straight away. That brings me on to the next and final point of the video. How much time should you spend practicing arena mode? Well, the answer varies. If you're somebody who isn't too bothered about getting into the competitive side of the game, then it doesn't really matter. You could do arena mode whenever you feel like it. However, if you're someone that is really invested in becoming a better Fortnite player and wants to make it into the comp scene of the game, then it's better to practice it often. Maybe not daily, but at least every other day for a few hours. Along with that, you should also try and do some stuff in creative mode and some type of scrims. By no means is arena the same as tournaments, by the way guys. The arena games are a piece of cake when compared to the tourneys that are hosted, so don't get too ahead of yourselves. What arena has pretty much turned into in the past few weeks is just a W key fest, and not nearly enough people survive to the final and moving zones, and that's the reason I recommend doing scrims and popular customs to improve your game. If you don't know what scrims are or how you can join them, then watch the video linked in the top right hand corner. I explain exactly what you need to do to start playing scrims and what scrims basically are. And lastly guys, I just want to go over 3 really good tips that will help you get more points in arena mode and just will generally help you get better. Firstly, we have a tip that doesn't completely relate to your own gameplay, but it is very useful. Basically, what you want to be doing is watching pro players regularly if you have the spare time for it. It's also better to watch somebody who's on the same platform as you, as it will show you the things that you could and should be doing in game. For example, if you're a PS4 player, watching somebody who also plays on controller like FaceSway and Nick Merckx will give you a better insight into how you should be playing and the things you should be practicing, such as aim assist abuse and getting better positioning to balance the playing field with the PC players you will be coming up against. Now, the second tip I want to give you guys is be confident with your plays. Try to think ahead in fights and always keep your cool. If something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world, and most people give up on things when they let their emotions get the better of them. And this is the exact opposite of what you need to be doing if you want to get better at the game. Just try your best to keep calm and collective, and if you start feeling frustrated, you should take a break and take your mind off Fortnite and do something else, and then come back feeling nice and fresh and slay out in arena. And the final tip of the video, guys, be patient and keep practicing. It's easy to say, but it's not as easy to do, because getting better at the game does take a lot of work and it won't always be fun. So stop thinking you'll get better at the game in a day. It should take many weeks and even months for you to improve. But if you keep practicing, you will see improvement, and slowly but surely you guys will be getting closer to major success. I really hope this video helped some of you out, if not all of you, at least a tiny bit, and make sure to leave a comment telling people any tips or tricks you think other people who have watched this video should use in arena mode to get more points and just generally get better at the game. Also, make sure to smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to become part of the family, and hit that notification bell to never miss another upload ever again. And I will see you guys later. Peace.